Welcome to Kickin' with the Rickens, redefining retirement. Gerry Ricken and Heidi Ricken Provost want to help you plan with purpose and retire with joy. Find more information, including how to reach the team, in today's show notes. Now, Kickin' with the Rickens, powered by Ricken Financial.
Look, big voice, that would be retirement planner Heidi Ricken Provost alongside licensed insurance professional Gerry Ricken. Thanks so much for streaming Kickin' with the Rickens, redefining retirement. All the information here in the show notes. My name is Mark Owens. Well, hey, friends, congratulations to my good friend Heidi, pushing yourself to the extreme.
She's awesome.
How you feeling?
I'm probably going to get emotional this episode, but thank you.
Talk to me.
Which is funny because usually Dad's the one who's emotional.
Truer words have never been said.
Right.
Yeah, we've been back for a little bit, but I did my 29029 experience that we've been talking about around here.
Mm-hmm. And for those that may not know, 29029 is?
It is a endurance event where you go to a mountain of your choosing. There's like 6 or 7 different ones you can choose from each year. And you hike the vertical equivalent of Everest over the course of 36 hours.
Hence the 29029, because that is the elevation, 29,029 feet from the base to the summit of Mount Everest.
And they do these in mountains across the country. Like the first time I heard about this,
Yes.
I'm like, you're hiking Everest? No, you find the equivalent all
In North America.
Exactly, exactly. And so where were you?
In
on
North
this?
America, and next year, soon to be Switzerland as well. But we went to Mont Tremblant, which is in Canada. It's just north of Montreal, Canada. And you don't hike all the way up a mountain and continuously go. You hike from the base up to the gondola, you gondola down, and then you do that same ascent a certain amount of time. So in order to make it to Everest on my mountain, it was 15 ascents. So for those of you who don't know much about my background, in the last 4 years, I've lost about 160 pounds. I've literally worked my ass off.
Yes.
Figuratively and literally, yes.
Yes.
First time I ever heard about 29029, the scale started with a 3, and I was sitting in this room at an event, and I was so jazzed thinking about the idea of living in a body that was capable of even trying that. And that was in 2019. So it took me a while to get here, but it's been a big journey just to even get to this mountain. And I could easily be sitting here saying the mountain got the best of me and I gave up, but I didn't. The mountain got the best of me for a while. My nutrition was not fantastic because I've had bariatric surgery and I have a gastric sleeve, so I only have 20% of my stomach. And after I eat, I have to wait a half hour before I drink again. So I was more focused on hydration because it's July. And even though Canada is supposed to be cooler and beautiful, we're in direct sunlight the entire
Unseasonably
hike.
hot. Yeah. It was unseasonably hot.
And it was upper 80s, felt like 90s, and you're in direct sunlight. I was very focused on my hydration because I was concerned I was going to be dehydrated, which, let's be real, I probably was anyway. So I didn't eat enough. I've never done an endurance challenge before. I did not know you physically have to consume a ton of carbs to keep moving. And I may or may not have blacked out and fallen on the mountain and got pulled off by medics for a while because my blood sugar, basically, I was hypoglycemic. My blood sugar was down between 50 and 55.
And when she says she may or may not have, she definitely was.
Right.
She
I
did black
pretended
out.
I was fine and I tried to keep going and someone near me called the medic on me and I'm like, damn it.
Do you remember that moment?
No.
No.
Nope. I hung out with another guy who was in way worse shape than me. You carry like your winter gear on your back just in case the conditions change. So I put my gloves and my little ear warmer and my jacket around him because this guy was under this space blanket, like shivering uncontrollably. And he's fine now too. But he sat in the middle of this little Polaris and I was on the outside holding him in. And we got down with the medic and met my husband and my parents and my sister at the base of the mountain. And Steven went in the medic tent with me and he said, I didn't even answer the questions correctly. And I was like super out of it. I have no recollection. I felt like I was in that medic tent for 5 minutes, and I think I was there 3 hours.
You were.
So, so I spent some time getting military grade electrolytes and carbs and hydration in me. And then they sent me up the mountain to go eat dinner and then come back. And then, unlike every other endurance challenge that exists, I was allowed back on the course. So once I felt better, I was allowed to go again. And I did a night hike and it was awesome. And I wanted to keep going, but the doctor told me 1 and go to bed. So went to bed, woke up.
By the way, just let me interject right here. Seeing her do that was unbelievable. After what we as spectators saw what happened to her, for her to get back up and do another hike that same night, unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
And this isn't just like a little hike. This mountain's a beast.
Yeah.
And the aid station's about 2/3 of the way up. They say if you do all 15 ascents, it's 25 and a half miles of hiking and 29,029 feet of ascension plus, because every single one of the 15 was 2,060 feet of elevation gain. I ended the challenge. Second morning when I woke up, by the way, my stomach decided it did not want to be a part of this adventure anymore.
Your stomach was
I
looking
also
at your
failed to
flight
mention
home.
I had lost my lunch day 1 because lunch was disgusting. It was like the elementary school rectangle pizza. It did not set well in my tummy for some reason. So I lost my lunch and it was coming out of both ends next morning. So I had to spend a while focusing on my hydration again before I was allowed to go back out again. Mm-hmm. But I got 2 more full laps in. And in the end, I did 7.5 laps, which is half of the equivalent of Mount Everest. And
these were not easy ascents either.
Yeah.
I mean, it was maybe a 40% incline towards that last half of it.
Yeah, the average incline the entire way is 20%. But I was telling, like, no one else in our family did the ascent with me. Stephen wanted to come with me a couple times, and I told him no, because this was my journey and I needed to figure out what I was made of. But the only points in time on that entire mountain that are flat are like where there's like this big old chair that you can stop and take a cute picture at. And there's a tiny little flat part there. And then where the aid station is, otherwise you're at an incline the whole way. So your hip flexors are on fire. And I met people who have done 10, 15 Ironmans who had a hard time finishing this thing. Like, it's a beast. But in the end, I got halfway there, which is a hell of a lot farther than I have ever made it before. And I learned how to push through when life doesn't go to plan, because I had a plan. I did the training. I thought I knew how I was going to handle my nutrition. I even had a special meeting with the head coach the day before, planning out my nutrition and my hydration and all of this. And it taught me a whole lot. I'm very proud of myself, and I'm looking forward to doing it again next year in hopes that I can get my red hat after making it to my personal Everest.
So you're not done. Like, this was just a speed bump. This wasn't a stop sign.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I met quite a few people on that mountain who were in the hurt locker with me towards the end. And every single one of them have decided that was a one and done. Sayonara, see you later, never doing it again. And I'm like, oh, hell no. Now that I know what I need to plan better for,
right,
I'm going to do even more preparation in the next year, and I'm going to get out there and I'm going to do it.
I love that.
And I think if you handle the whole nutrition thing and get that all figured out, you'll kill this thing.
So it wasn't...
You killed it already.
It wasn't the physical aspect, which was a massive part. It was the nutrition. It was the food. It was the drink. It was your body kind of fighting against you as you're trying to stay carbed up and stay hydrated. That was the biggest challenge.
So, I look at I have a Garmin and it tracks like everything, and it was tracking our course and all this stuff. And my 7.5 ascents, I say that they said 15 ascents is 25.5 miles. My 7.5 ascents were 18.75 miles of hiking.
Right.
Okay. All straight up. So that's double that. That's over 36 miles of hiking. Come on, let's be real.
Yeah.
Right.
But the crazy thing is, in that 36-hour time period, I burned over 7,500 calories.
Yes, sir. Fantastic.
So, and then you stay in a calorie deficit for a couple days. and like your metabolism is basically like in overdrive. I felt it until probably a week after the mountain. You feel different. You wake up and you have like, I barely consumed caffeine because I had so much energy and my body was just like in overdrive. And I also wanted to make sure my bag was not overweight before we left. So I weighed myself only because I carried the bag, you know, when you check a bag like me, you got to make sure it's not over 50 pounds.
Yep.
So out of curiosity, since I don't really weigh myself often because it's not about the weight anymore, it's about my health. But I did weigh myself when we got back and I lost 18 pounds in that week.
Wow.
There it is.
Yeah.
There it is. That's fantastic.
So, yeah.
Congratulations
came back.
on that.
Thank you.
Challenging yourself and pushing yourself. And we've been talking about this for a couple of months now. And now that it's behind you, but just to see how much you put into it too, because I know it wasn't easy, both mentally and physically, because they say that for 29029, sometimes the mental part is 100 times harder than the physical part.
Oh, absolutely.
I believe that. And
trust me, when I physically could not move my legs because I was so depleted, it messes with your psyche. And I had to teach my brain that this was not the end. I was not giving up, you know? And I mean, I did quite a few things that were kind of obscure to train for it. Like the 12-hour walk I did that one day. That's what taught my brain to teach me that you're not giving up and you're going to move forward. And I have some unbelievable, supportive, wonderful human beings in my life. And I am still overwhelmed with how much love and support I have been given. My parents, my sister, my husband, and my in-laws came physically in person to cheer me on, which is amazing. That's awesome. And I've had so many people reach out to me, send, you know, notes and videos and audio messages and pictures. And it's been really overwhelming. I haven't even gotten back to everyone yet because I'm still trying to take it all in. But the one thing I will say is there was half of one lap where I needed to distract myself enough to push through. And that half of one lap, I had one headphone in and listened to a Spotify playlist that one of my softball players made for me. Thank you, Hunter. But the rest of the time, I didn't look at my phone. I didn't have any noise other than my mind and the people around me and the support of the people around me to get me up that mountain. And that, I think, is going further than pretty much anything else that happened on that mountain, because now I don't feel like I have to be so hyper connected to the social media and to this and to that and the other. It's easier for me now to focus, get things done, and move forward and be productive and efficient and effective. And that's really cool because how often do we actually disconnect?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, it's very difficult to in today's environment to disconnect.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I really thought you were going to say you were going to listen to some Kicking with the Rickens podcast, you know, to give you that motivation to get up and down. But
I know, right?
But
right.
What is, because, you know, at the end of the day, you know, we always find the educational part, what you can do for the families you serve at Ricken Financial. Did you learn something that you can put forth in your everyday journey, challenges,
I learned a
everyday
couple things.
Work aspect of life?
You know, what we do every single day is we put together holistic plans for retirement, and they're really solid plans. You know, if I can toot our own horns right now,
Toot, toot.
But you know, we put together plans for people that are custom built for their specific situation. I had a custom built plan for me to get myself to the end of this mountain. Well, factors that were out of my control came into effect. The weather was unseasonably warm, which the humidity was unseasonably high. Thank God the wildfires didn't hit us, but a couple different factors snuck in. And had I not continued to stick to my plan through that tough time, I would not have been able to physically go back up that mountain again. And I liken it to sometimes, well, you know, if you're in the market with a part of your money that's at risk, if the market goes sideways for a week, some people look at their portfolio every single day, and those couple days of instability in the market could scare the daylights out of you because are you still going to stick to the same plan if it's going sideways with something out of your control? Well, the answer is yes, because when you stick to the same plan, a beautiful thing happens in the end. And if you let 2 or 3 days of instability or a month of instability in the market, sidetrack you from your overall goal, you're losing out in the end.
Yep.
You're not getting to the finish line that you deserve. So, I liken it to that, but I also liken it to this. I now understand when, even if you have a plan that can weather all of the storms, how scary it is to take that leap.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like this is the first thing I've done where I've put myself in the position to understand how scary it is to retire. Because so many people we meet with every day, they're terrified. And I get that, because all these plans in the world, you're still taking a huge leap of faith.
Yeah.
And the fear of the unknown is scary. So as prepared and planned and everything as I was also scared when I got there. So we're not alone. We're all human beings at the end of the day. And it turns out that when you put a plan together, it makes life a little bit easier,
right.
But that doesn't mean you're not a human and you don't have those experiences too. Right. So sometimes we do let emotions get the best of us. And I did my best to not allow that to happen on that mountain. And we do our best every single day with our prospects and our clients to ensure that emotions are not going to be leading the way when it comes to your finances, but that we're going to use math and logic and all of our resources available to get you to and through retirement.
I love that. And real quick, before we hit pause on this week's Kicking with the Rickens, Gerry, I want to talk to you, Dad. What was it like?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what was it like seeing your daughter push herself and the challenge that she had, and you were there for every step of it for 29029? Emotionally, what was that like for you?
I was a basket case. Because as you know, Mark, I do live with my emotions on my sleeve and and even though I had short sleeves on, the emotions were dripping out of both sleeves. You know, it was unbelievable. Couldn't be more proud. Could not be more proud.
I love that. I'm so proud of you, Heidi. I'm so proud of you. And it's funny, the things, I've heard about 29029 for years now. And every time I say it, I'm like, nope, not today, Satan. That ain't going to happen. But then to see you take that on and challenge and push yourself, I think it's just round of applause. Heidi Ricken Provost, round of applause. Just so damn proud of you. That's great. And
one of the friends I met on the mountain had a hat that said, "Not today, Satan."
That's really funny.
That's awesome. But what I love the most is you said that you did not let that mountain defeat you because you will be back. This is not a one and done. I gave it a shot. It didn't go 100% the way I wanted, but I'm proud of myself and check it off the bucket list. You're like, oh no, I'll be back.
And I had a lot of my people with me, but then on my hydration vest, I also had a little mouse pin from my field mice from my softball team cheering me on.
I love that.
And then I had my grandpa's eagle ring that I inherited from him, my grandma's mother ring that I inherited from her, my sister's, Mary Beth's ring from when she turned 13 years old that had a little diamond from mom's wedding day in it. And I had a butterfly mess with me for a long time, flying in my face and landing on my face and then landed on my hat for an entire lap. And that's my awesome. Aunt Joni. So, I had all my people with me too.
I love that.
Because you can't do anything alone, which is why we're here for all of our prospects and clients too.
Amen. And she had a full framed 4x6 picture of me in her back pocket. So with that being said, super proud of you, Heidi. Listen, congratulations. And to so many people, all you got to do is just go to Google and put in 29029. All the information pops up, or just talk to Heidi about it. If it's something you're interested in, maybe challenging yourself, the kids or the grandkids. But with anything you hear, we invite you to reach out to the team at Ricken Financial. Just the power of having a plan. And sometimes you have to pivot from that plan. But it's always good to have that backup plan as well. The team at Ricken Financial will make sure you have that plan regardless of your situation and your challenges. Find all the information here in the show notes. So with that being said, let's go ahead and hit pause for this week. Thank you for the education. Thank you for the information. And I'll say it one last time. I don't want to keep harping on it, but congratulations. So stinking proud of you, Heidi. We are back next week. But before we get out of here, Heidi Ricken Provost, Gerry Ricken, take us home.
Every day's a holiday.
Life is short. Laugh hard.
This has been Kicking with the Rickens, redefining retirement.
Insurance products are offered through the insurance business Ricken Financial LLC. Ricken Financial LLC is also an investment advisory practice that offers products and services through Impact Partnership Wealth LLC, a registered investment advisor. IPW does not offer insurance products. The insurance products offered by Ricken Financial LLC are not subject to investment advisor requirements. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any references to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims paying abilities of the issuing carrier. This podcast is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as the sole basis for financial financial decisions, nor should it be construed as advice designed to meet the particular needs of an individual situation. Ricken Financial LLC is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during the show shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any governmental agency. The information and opinions contained herein provided by third parties have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by Ricken Financial LLC.
Please remember that converting an employer plan account to a Roth IRA is a taxable event. Increased taxable income from the Roth IRA conversion may have several consequences. Be sure to consult with a qualified tax advisor before making any decisions regarding your IRA.
Tax preparation and tax advisory services are offered through Ricken Financial. These services are not offered by IPW and are not subject to investment advisor requirements. These services referenced are an outside business activity not offered through or supervised by IPW.